Hi guys, thanks for stopping by my channel. Today's video is a continuation, or part two, we'll say part two, of our look at the brand new 120 set of colored pencils from Meeden. These are oil-based pencils, and I did do some pre-swatching coloring with them. I had some time this morning before I was able to actually film. I usually don't do the coloring before the swatching, and I usually don't give my opinion until after the swatching and after the coloring and everything, but I think I'm in love with these pencils, you guys. I'm really excited about these pencils. The colors, I think, are really nice. Not necessarily so different, but they're all like scientifically named. I think that's one of the points that they emphasize in their listing and the organizational system. They are in a really nice color order that I approve of. So I'm going to leave it the way it is in the box. And spoiler alert on these pencils, I think I'm really in love with these pencils. And I'm really happy that I ended up purchasing them. I was on the fence about getting another set of pencils. Do we really need another set of pencils? I know that's probably what you guys are thinking. That's for you to decide. I'm happy that I got them, and I'm going to swatch them with you so you can see what the colors look like. Let's get right into it. So I did take my pencils out of the tin already. I've actually repurposed this eraser case, and I Mod Podged washi tape on top of it. I don't know if it's going to hold up or not, but we'll see. And I sharpened my pencils up. I do have this chart that I made. I'm going to put it up on my Ko-Fi page if you want to download it yourself, because they didn't come with a swatch sheet. That's a little bit, maybe I've become spoiled lately with all the pencils coming with swatch charts, but this didn't take very long. I did this on ChatGPT last night, and it came out pretty good. I only had to make a few corrections. Okay, let's get started with our first color, and that is Mid Cadmium Red. They do say there are light fast pigments in the listing, but they don't have any light fast ratings on the actual pencils. I think I'm not going to fill in this entire box just because I think it'll take too long. Next up is Ponzu Red. I don't know if I mentioned that these are very pigmented. Next up is Naphthol Red Medium 306. Mentioned in our previous video that these weren't listed on the Meeden website yet, but I checked right before we started this video. This is Bright Red 314, and they are now listed on their website. They're on the website for $79.95, and it says save 11%, and they're a little bit cheaper on Amazon, so I'd advise getting them from Amazon. Next up is Purple Red 403. Maybe we'll add some music. Next up is Rose 336. I didn't really notice yet if these are like in a consecutive order or not, because I left them the way they were already organized in the case, and so I'm not sure, but they all seem to be, you know, starting in 200, 300s, 100s. There's no double digit numbers or single digit numbers. That was Salmon. Next up we have Peach Red. This is 317. Let's hold this. I always say this, but I'm left-handed, and I always feel awkward when I have to color or swatch on camera, because I feel like if I was right-handed, I would be going this way, and I wouldn't be, my hand's not going to be covering up the previous swatch, but I try my best. The next one is 303 Light Magenta. These are very, I would describe the laydown as velvety, like very velvety, smooth. They feel soft, but they are also firm. I think they advertise as low dust and crumbling, and I would have to agree. I thought they swatched. I thought they sharpened very well. I only had an issue with one pencil breaking, but the majority of them, they seemed to sharpen up very nicely. This is Magenta 349. And next we have Neutral Pink. I also like the scientific names. They seem to stress that on in the listing as well. Deco Pink. This is I really like this pink. It's a really pretty pale pink. There's like a very nice balance, I feel like, in this set. I think it's pretty much a perfect balance. We have some light colors, mid-tone colors, some darker colors, light peach red 376. When I was doing the coloring, you know, I didn't swatch them yet, so I didn't have the reference to know how pigmented they each were. So some of them you have to have a really light hand with. I'm not even pressing all that hard with these swatches even. This is light red 375. And so definitely when if you're trying them out for the first time, I would practice with them first. This is light pink 219, just so you can get used to how they lay down before you get into it, especially if you're a little bit of a heavier handed colorist. I used to be very heavy handed, I would say, but I've since become a little bit lighter. This is pink yellow 238. Pink yellow. This reminds me of, I forget what that color is called. What am I thinking of? Dutch pink? Yeah, it kind of remind me of the color, I think, Dutch pink. I was thinking of doing a color story on Dutch pink, actually. Then we have light orange, yellow 220. I feel like I don't have anything that exciting to chat about this time around when we're making this video. We have next 354 light cadmium red. And usually when I review like a budget set of pencils and I say, oh, they're advertised as this, or they say they're this, but they're really more like 50-50. I would say these definitely lean more towards actually being more oil than wax. I think that's my opinion anyway. This is orange red. I think if you don't have practice with the oil pencil, you might not take to these right away. That's how I felt anyway when I was trying them out. This is 321 cadmium orange red, but I had to trust the process and just keep layering and layering. They did take layers very well. Cadmium orange 320. Hopefully this is working out. Then I have a light orange 319. I had a few complaints over on the previous video because I just unboxed them and I didn't do anything else. But this is kind of the workflow that I've been doing when I have a brand new pencil that I don't think is, really out there yet. This is Naphthol Orange. And I I like to take my time, but I'm also very excited when I get a new pencil. So I want to dive in right away, and I don't want to wait. And I feel like a lot of you guys don't want to wait either. You want to see what they look like. This is bright orange, yellow. You want to see, get an idea of what we're working with. And then, you know, we do our subsequent video. And do some coloring with them. Do some, in my opinions, this is deep yellow 229. I did a little bit backwards this time around though, because I did the coloring first. And I kind of already gave you my opinion that I really like these a lot. Then we have chrome yellow 231. I feel like you might hear my stomach growling through the video. Oh, I should have eaten before I started this video, but now it's too late. Now I'm already into too far now. Naples yellow, I guess I could stop and eat something too, but I really want to get this done and put it up for you guys so you can see the colors. And yeah, so that's why I do it this way. I used to do a really quick, this is like chrome yellow, a really quick speed swatching. People would complain about the speed swatching being too long, and then people would complain about if I didn't do a speed swatching. People would complain if I spent too much time on the packaging. People would complain if I don't spend enough time on the packaging. So I feel like I do it this way. At least there's something for everyone. I know it kind of sucks when I'm first making them. This is pale yellow 218 because you have to wait for me to do them, but even like, you know, when they're all done and they're all on a playlist, I think it's nice to have them all together, and then you can pick and choose what you'd like to spend your time watching. Then we have lemon yellow 215. Even these yellows are very pigmented. They kind of remind me of like the laydown. They kind of remind me of like an oil version of a ChromaFlow pencil, kind of, I would say. But they were really beautiful to use and color with, I feel like. We have chrome lemon. And they didn't have any breakage issues. And what else? Then we have gray green 575. Have a yellowish green. And I find the people that complain are just like kind of like fly-by-night people that don't really watch my channel anyway, so that's kind of like I'm more interested in my little community that I feel like we have here. Maybe like my 5 to 10 regular viewers. That's what I kind of care about more, so that I know like are interested in the same things as I am. Leaf green, this is 549. Of course, I welcome anyone new to my channel. I love to meet new coloring enthusiasts, colored pencil enthusiasts. This is permanent green. I do love talking to you guys about our pencil suspicions, our pencil gossip. I really enjoy that, talking to you guys in the comment section. This is Viridian. I'm always into where are these pencils made? Where are they dupes? Are they white labeled? Are they private labeled? This is deep green. Usually I can, for the most part, I can figure it out. These I can't figure out. I have a few of you guys in the comments of the previous video and my community tab post. Next we'll do deep cobalt green 584. I do realize I'm not saying the numbers for all of these because it's very difficult for me to talk and swatch at the same time, but yeah, so I've had a few people speculate in that These look like Erogitins, which I thought they were Erogitin-esque looking. I have some saying they resemble Phoenix colored pencils. I've only ever seen the Phoenix colored pencils. That was forest green. I've only ever seen the Phoenix colored pencils in those box sets with the colored barrels. I've never seen, this was Prussian green. Seen them looking like this, but I'm guessing maybe they're regional specific. I don't know. Olive green. And then, oh yeah, somebody also said they looked like a set of 4 candies. I have seen those on Amazon. Olive green. And then I was also kind of thinking they did feel a little bit like Marco or Renoirs, but not really. Quality wise, I would compare them, be comparative to like a Marco pencil. This is moss green, but definitely more like a firmer than a Marco Renoir. I feel like I'm not really being that helpful in your description of what these feel like necessarily, because I can't really place them on any particular pencil I've used or that I can recall at the moment. This one is Chrome Oxide Green, 562. This is, I even like the greens. I'm usually not too crazy for greens, but I really like these greens. They seem to be smooth. I haven't had any like graininess, or this is a mustard green, which I don't know if this is necessarily, oh, I guess mustard greens, like maybe like the leaves. Maybe that's what they're referring to when they say mustard green. And then we have phthalo green. Yeah, even these greens feel really nice and smooth. They feel like like a high quality pencil. They don't feel like you're like a typical cheap budget type of pencil. This is turquoise 507. I think the pricing is accurate. Like, I don't think they're inflating the price just for optics, like packaging or anything. I think this is, I do think these are worth the price. Dark peacock blue. Well, I haven't seen the full layout yet as a whole, the colors, except for online. Then we have cobalt green. Turquoise blue. Ooh, I like this one. This is giving Tiffany blue very much, I think. Then we have this light gray blue. I'm really loving the gray toned colors they have in this set. I did mention in the previous video, I did like a lot of the neutrals and grays, blue pale. These would look really good for the sky and water, I think. Light phthalo blue. I'm really hoping some other channels review these as well, because I did look and see if anybody had done any videos on these yet, and I did find one channel, and it wasn't necessarily, I don't know if it was like the exact pencil, but they had done an unboxing, I think, of a Meeden advent calendar, and they got a 12 piece, it looked like a 12 piece of these pencils, but they weren't sharpened. She had to sharpen them herself, and that's the only thing I found. So they must have been like soft launching them, I guess, in their advent calendars last year. I have collaborated with them before. That was deep cobalt blue. Next is ultramarine blue. I have collaborated with Meeden before on a video, maybe a year or two ago. on like a storage easel. I'll put that in the playlist too if you want to check that out. Light ultramarine, $4.42. Then we have an Indanthrene blue, $4.64. Pardon my pronunciations on some of these pigments. It's a little bit rough for me. And then we have bluish green. Then we have violet for $30. Rainbow Order, I think, is my favorite. Second to maybe Color Real Order, but I do generally like a Rainbow Order. This is lavender. So we have essentially reds, oranges, yellows, greens, blues, and then violets. Lavender. This is very dark. Purple. I like these next bunch of colors too. A very like nice deep dark burgundies and wine colors. This is dioxazine violets, $4.39. Hopefully you can pay attention to what I'm doing. They're building a house right next door to me, and all I hear is banging, banging, banging. So if you hear any like loud noises in the background, besides my stomach growling, they're building a house, like a humongous house next door. Lilac for $32. It's making the rest of the block dwarfed in comparison. It's really weird. Light purple pink for $100. Have you guys heard about the new colors coming from Woomer? 17 new colors. I'm very excited about that. And I think they are also planning on coming out with a full 150 set as well. This is Smoke Pink. I did post a shorts video showing you what the 17 new colors are going to look like. And they look really nice. They had some blues, there were some like reddish oranges, and like a few grays and like a few light brown taupe skin colors, which, as you know, I'm always excited about. More skin tone colors. We have pink, purple, $4.25. I'm working on a couple of things regarding like skin tone recipes. I initially started, this is rose purple for $28. I initially started out just, I was gonna make a little booklet of practice faces and, you know, just pop it up on my Ko-Fi page. But I did ask for some opinions if you wanted some skin tone recipes, like non-branded skin tone recipes, like just general colors. This is quinacridone violet. I do have a video talking about this pigment too, I think, as well, so I'll pop that in the description box. And yeah, so I got a few responses saying that you wouldn't mind if they were not brand specific, just colors. And this is grape purple, and I kind of snowballed into trying to create like a full blown book of colored pencil recipes, and I want to break it up into 4 categories. I have light, no, actually I think it's fair, light, medium, and dark. So I'm going to do 5 different skin tone recipes within each of those categories, and I wanted to try and do publish it on Amazon KDP because it's going to be a lot of color, and I didn't want to put that burden on someone to have to print out all that color. So I'm going to try and make it for, I've never published anything before, so it's a little bit daunting, but I really think it'll come out good in the end. So I'm kind of in the middle of that. That was dark red, 603. So I want to do it simultaneously, or I might just do the practice faces first and then follow up when I'm actually done with the skin tone guidebook. This is terracotta, 603. And next is transparent oxide red, 682. Some of these do seem to like stain a little bit. I noticed even just like touching them. So I don't know if that's like dyes in there or like the pigments, or I know our friend Lucy, our resident colorologist Lucy, can probably tell us. But this is reddish brown. She told us in a comment, I know, that about the light fast ratings, that the pigments is what has the light fast ratings. Now we have burnt umber. I would like to look into that a little bit further because these do claim light fastness, that they're light fast in the listing, but like I said, there's no actual light fast ratings on the pencils. And we have taupe, 666. This one, to me, that doesn't resemble taupe. Maybe like a dark taupe, perhaps, but that kind of doesn't seem taupe to me. Van Dyke Brown, 690. I would have appreciated an even darker brown than what they have here. I think the darkest one is this next one, walnut brown. When I was coloring that face, I felt like I needed an even darker brown than this. This one I felt like was a little bit too, or maybe I just needed like a colder brown, maybe is what I was looking for. And then we have this Rose Madder. This is really pretty. Nice for cheeks and lips. Then we have Sanguine. You know, I always have problems with that one. Sanguine. I think it's French. Then we have Cinnamon. So if anyone has any inside information on these pencils, let me know. Then we have Light Brown. We're getting to the end. I really like this light brown for skin too. Oops. Then we have Tan, 260. If I started talking about something and I forgot in the middle of it, then this one is Maltose, and you want to like a follow-up, just let me know. I'll try and remember what it was I was talking about. I really like this one too, this Maltose. I use this one a lot in coloring that portrait. And Orange Ochre, 636. There's some nice ochre colors in here too. There's a, we didn't get to it yet, the red ochre, orange ochre, Deep Naples Yellow. These are really great colors for skin, and as well as probably landscape and animals too. Will probably be good. Yellow ochre. I need to try and color other things, I think. I've been delving into a little bit more. I got into coloring desserts and cookies, which is funny because those are almost the same colors you would use for skin too. Brown Pale. This is $6.92. And we have $6.98 Deep Camel Brown. I don't know if I notice a numbering pattern here. Maybe some of you do, and you'll be able to easily spot it out. Like sometimes I notice with these numbering systems, like all the 6s will be brown and maybe all the 4s, but I don't think so, because there's 4s, blue 4s and purple 4s. So I guess that's not a pattern. Then we have 631 Brown Ochre. Getting a little sloppy. And then we have this one's really nice too, a light tea brown. $6.49. We have gray brown. I used this one for the shadows of that portrait I just showed you at the beginning. I might make a revised swatch chart for these. If this is tobacco yellow, if I might do a color story on these too. I have a few of those up. They're not like really, like, I don't think they're for everyone. They're for like maybe like a few people like them, but I like them. I really like grouping them into either color stories or palettes, and giving them names. Pink, brown. So I might do that for this one. We'll see. I'm kind of more excited about continuing coloring with these. Usually after I review a pencil, I'm kind of into them for a little while, and then I'm kind of like on to the next thing. Just kind of my nature. I get really excited about new stuff, and then I'm kind of like, oh yeah. But I'm really looking forward to coloring some more with these pencils. That was Burnt Sienna. I've also been asked, this is Red Copper, to do a video with like my favorite budget sets of pencils, or just favorite pencils in general. It's always an ever-changing list, so I might do that sometime, maybe within this year. Permanent Maroon, I have a lot of plans, just my actual time and follow through. It's not always the best. And then we have Red Ochre. I did say I was gonna be on a pencil break like 2 pencil sets ago, but I have another set of pencils coming from Alibaba that we might go over. I'm not sure. And I was actually working on, this is a weird color, Calypsis, but it's really pretty. I was working on another video and I got sidetracked and I was never finished it. So I have a kind of a few unfinished projects that I may or may not get to in the next few months. This is Clay Rose. I'm really excited about doing the skin tone pencil and practice pages books. So that's kind of my current fascination and interest. So if you don't see me around, that's why, because I'm trying to work on those 2 workbooks. This is Ume Purple. I thought it was Ube Purple at first. I was like, oh, what did they spell Ube Purple wrong? You know, the potato. But I looked it up, and it is a color. I think Ume means plum in Chinese, I think. Then we have Purplish Black. These are some of the colors I was really excited about. I do really love when they give you a really, really, really dark version of a color and a really, really light version of a color like this. Then we have this gray, purple, red. This is another good one. I'm just starting to get a little bit more comfortable doing shadows. I'm always a little bit, I am still a little bit nervous about adding shadows to things because I'm always afraid, this is warm black, that I'm going to ruin it and it's going to, like, all the work that I did is going to be messed up if I add too many shadows. But I'm coming along to it a little bit better, I think. Then we have a warm gray brown. Sometimes you'll hear people call these more randy colors. That's usually what I like to call them, or they call them advanced grays or ethereal colors. But they're usually, it's just different names for the same, just a hue or color rather, and with some gray added into it. This is black gray. Similar to how I think people are more familiar with pastels, and that's when the color is mixed with white. Indigo blue, and very nice. These blues are very smooth as well, these darker blue colors, which I feel like even in expensive sets, which I've mentioned this before, even expensive sets, the pigments in the darker colors sometimes will be either scratchy or sandy. This is mouse gray. And I also commend them for no spelling mistakes. Deep cold gray. So I think this is going to be a really popular set of pencils. Like a professional, I think professionals would even agree that these are really nice. It's a little bit higher than budget, I would say. We have green gray. Just keep in mind, this is all my opinion. This is my first impressions of these. You might try them and say, oh, Crystal, you don't know what you're talking about. These are terrible, but I really love them so far. Deep gray, green. I'm really excited about these. Deep warm gray. But I think if you do a lot of people coloring, portrait coloring, I think these are a really great bunch of colors. Light gray, cold gray. What does it say? Light, cold. Oh, light crab gray. Oh, I've never heard of crab gray before. It's interesting. I've heard of blue crabs, I think. I think I've seen a blue crab in my lifetime. Gray pale. But yeah. These are my new favorites, I think. Even bumping out the Marco Tributes. The Marco Tributes have been my favorites for maybe the past year or so. We have blue gray. Oh, bluish gray. I'm sorry. $7.71. And then we have warm gray. $7.96. Lotus gray. $7.74. I like this gray too. And then this one, gray white. This one's also very interesting. I guess I would kind of call this cloud gray. Maybe you might see that called cloud gray in other sets. And then ivory white, 110. Can't really see that. I don't think I have a marker around. then we have white. The white's not that great, I don't think. But you have the ivory white and this gray white, I think, are better. Then we have black. All right, so our swatches are complete. We already heard my opinion at the beginning of the video. What do you think of the color selection? I think it's great. And I'll show you what paper was I using. I was using this mixed media paper, 98 pounds. And kind of like very like porous and textured, I would say. That's what I used. And this is very smooth paper. So it seems very nice on like a textured paper as well as a smoother paper. I have had difficulties sometimes coloring on this paper. Some pencils don't work that great on this paper, but I thought these worked very well, and it took a lot of layers. I think we're going to end the video here. We'll do another video maybe working on this page with the pencils. I think we've been filming long enough. My phone's getting very hot, so I'm going to end it here. I hope you guys all have a really great rest of your day. Happy coloring, and I'll see you in the next one.